Hello and welcome to Section 2, an introduction to VMware app volumes. In this section, we're going to start by giving you an overview of some of the different methods of delivering applications, and then look at how application layering fits into this, before specifically talking about the app volume solution. So what we're going to cover in this section. First, we will give you a high-level overview of application layering and compare this technology to some of the other methods of delivering applications. Next, we will start to get into the specifics of app volumes and how it works, before going on to discuss which technology should be used and when to use it. We will finish the section by looking at some of the app volumes use cases and how app volumes would fit in with each one. So let's move on to the first video of this section and look at the overview of application layering and compare it to other application delivery methods. So in this video, we're going to start by looking at the traditional application delivery methods, such as installing applications into the operating system image or using some form of application virtualization solution, such as VMware ThinApp. We'll then go on to look at application layering and how that works. With the installed model, the application files, settings and registry entries are all installed into the operating system. The applications are then tied into that machine's operating system. Even if you uninstall the application, you can never be sure that all traces of that application have actually been removed. This also means that you cannot run different versions of the same application on the same operating system. By creating the application container, the application now becomes portable, and as it is now isolated, you can run it alongside other versions of the same applications, either installed on the operating system or as other virtual packages, as well as potentially running the application on different operating system versions. So all is well, right? Well, not quite. Now that you've solved the issue of running multiple versions of the same application on the same machine, there are some use cases where this level of isolation can actually introduce a completely new set of problems that may prevent the application from functioning or behaving as you would expect it to. For example, a use case where the application needs to communicate with another application or the underlying operating system. As the application is isolated and running inside its own self-contained bubble, then this is not going to work. Okay, so there are some solutions that can allow you to create links to other applications and maybe talk to the operating system, but then surely that's no longer truly isolated. The next question is around the delivery of these virtualized applications. As many of the solutions state, they are packaging or virtualization elements of a solution, and they are not the mechanism to deliver the virtualized application to the end user. So when it comes to delivery, it's actually pretty straightforward. It usually involves streaming the application package on demand and directly to the operating system, whether that be a virtual desktop, physical desktop, and rather than installing it into the operating system. Don't forget that this is just application virtualization we're talking about, and the same rules apply to virtual applications running on physical desktops. The application packages will run on an operating system regardless of whether or not it's a virtual desktop machine or a physical desktop. The big advantage in this delivery approach is that it saves a huge amount of time, as you don't need to update your gold images or have to go around installing applications individually. This simplicity of delivery is one of the main reasons that application virtualization has become popular, although it isn't really why it came into existence. If you analyse the applications today that are being delivered as virtual applications, you would probably find that most of them could actually be deployed in another way, such as application layering, and don't need to be isolated at all. They are delivered in this way just purely for convenience. Application virtualization is not the answer for every application, and as such, not every application can be virtualized. For example, if your applications require drivers, then these applications typically cannot be virtualized fully. By fully, I mean that you can't include the drivers in that virtual package. However, you would add them to the base image instead. An example of this would be Acrobat Reader, that uses a print driver for creating the PDF files. The print driver would need to be included in the base image rather than the virtualized package itself, and if you update the virtual package, you would potentially need to update your base image as well to update the driver. That kind of defeats the object of virtualizing in the first place. The reason for this is that drivers operate at the kernel mode level, whereas the application operates in user mode and is captured in that mode. Application layering is a similar concept to application virtualization in what it delivers, i.e. the ability to deliver applications on demand into the operating system. However, the key difference is now that there is no isolation. Application layers are merged into the registry and file system of the base image operating system, along with the application files required to run the application, making the application look like it's natively installed into the operating system. This native look and feel that makes the application appear as if it were natively installed is down to what is known as a filter driver. This filter driver, or write filter, is installed into the base image, usually as part of an agent installation process. Its job is to monitor and manage the file system, and then to ensure that all application layers that are mounted to a desktop machine are seamlessly merged into the file system, making them appear as if they are installed locally. This includes things such as DLL files, registry entries, and any other files that the application requires in order to run. Once the filter driver is installed and an application layer is attached to the desktop machine, when you launch the application contained within that layer, the filter driver intercepts the calls to the file system for that application and directs them to the correct application layer to fulfill the request. As well as ensuring that the files are merged into the operating system, it is also just as important that the files are unmerged or removed when the application layer is removed from the base image operating system. The filter driver takes care of this too. So the next question is, how are application layers created and stored? In basic terms, the application layer is a virtual disk, either a VHD or a VMDK format depending on your platform, and that is then attached to the desktop machine. To create the application layer itself, it's a simple task of attaching an empty virtual disk container and then, via a cleanly imaged machine, run through the installation process of the application, in exactly the same way you would as if you were normally installing it. Behind the scenes, the filter driver is redirecting all the files and settings that are being copied and configured into the empty container. This becomes your application layer, a virtual disk file that contains all the files and settings that the application needs to run. In a typical environment, any applications that are used by all users, such as a Microsoft Office suite for example, usually get installed into the base image operating system. Any other applications are either installed afterwards or even have a separate base image for different types of users. By adopting an application layering approach, you can now move to have a single base image operating system, and then layer the applications in depending on the user or department, so that all the users start from the same point and then have their applications delivered separately based on their policy or profile. This is, however, the issue to consider of running multiple layers applications, where they would potentially cause a conflict. The conflict would occur when two applications try to access a shared file on the underlying operating system. Only one application will win, and the other would potentially crash or fail to launch.